Check this.
Hi everybody on YouTube, and this is Review Geek 3000. You are here for one reason only, and that is to eat, sleep, rest and repeat, to watch exclusive content. So please like, share, subscribe, smash that notification bell, and as always on this channel, stay awesome. Just guys, welcome back, and this is the Contenders Corner podcast, episode 46, and this is Aew Revolution results and an after show rundown. There is a lot to talk about in this video, guys. So join us weekly on the Contenders Corner to talk everything that is wrestling. There we are. And here we are, guys. Welcome. And this is what it's all about, guys. And this is Jason on the Contenders Corner in the commentary box to bring you everything that is wrestling. So, welcome, and I hope you're having a fantastic day, guys, and we appreciate everything that you have done on this channel. Thank you for your support, and again, get this video shared, liked, and subscribed, guys. Anyway, this is the All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view revolution, guys. Right, someone's getting the results up here. And again, guys, it's a fantastic show. Was it bigger than last year? It was a big show, guys. It was a big show. But it wasn't better than last year. It wasn't grander than last year. There was something at the end that spoilt the show. And that's why I'm going to downgrade it. Because of that moment, guys. We all know what that is, but I'm going to get to that very shortly, guys. Anyway, AEW returned to the pay-per-view on the 7th of March, Sunday night, which was last night, with its Revolution event. In many ways, the event was what fans have come to expect from the promotion's biggest show, as it was filled with good in-ring action and fun surprises. But few wrestling events have ended on as big of a down note as what happened at the conclusion of the night, which I'm going to get later on, guys. Later on in this video, we are going to touch on the down note of the show. It was an unfortunate note on which to end a show that had otherwise largely lived up to expectations. Those expectations were even exceeded in some cases, as was the case of Sting's return to action alongside Darby Allin, as the duo took on Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a cinematic street fight, guys. But anyway, let's get this under the wraps. We've got the buy-in match, which was Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Maki Itoh. So Baker had a doctor's note written by herself saying Rebel was medically ineligible to compete, and Itoh was revealed as the new partner. There were some ugly stretches with some miscommunication and work that wasn't always smooth. The match did smooth out down the stretch, however, with Rosa and Baker standing out in the continuation of their long-standing rivalry. Itoh put her hard head to work, using it to block a strike flurry from Rio and then landing a headbutt to set up a late near fall for Baker. But Rio managed to avoid being pinned before making the tag to Rosa. Rebel got on the ring apron, but Baker accidentally hit her. Before Rosa could capitalise, Baker shoved her into Rebel, who struck with a crutch behind the referee's back, allowing Baker to score the pin. So it was Britt Baker and Mako Itoh who defeated Rio and Thunder Rosa via pinfall. I'm going to give this a Contenders Corner 3.5 out of 5, guys. And then we have the AEW Tag Team Championship, the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF. The Bucks went right at Jericho and MJF from the opening bell, blasting away with strikes and following them out of the ring to continue the beating. After stereo suicide dives, the Bucks locked in simultaneous sharpshooters to nearly score an early submission. The Bucks' domination would continue until Wardlow's involvement outside the ring helped Jericho and MJF get things going their way. Jericho locked Nick Jackson in the Lion Tamer, then did the same to Matt Jackson after what the Bucks thought was a blind tag. After some really solid near falls by both teams, Jericho snuck in a shot with the baseball bat, allowing MJF to hit the heat seeker, but Matt managed to kick out in a dramatic moment. Jericho missed with the Judas effect, hitting Wardlow by mistake. Shortly after, the Bucks hit the Meltzer driver on Jericho to score the pin. This was a really well put together match that leaned heavily into big dramatic near falls before the clean finish. The Young Bucks defeated Chris Jericho and MJF via pinfall to retain the titles at Revolution. And again, guys, I'm going to give this the Contenders Corner 3.8 out of 5. It was a solid match. Back-to-back action all round here, guys. We had a lot of near falls. We even had MJF hit a Judas effect on Wardlow. So again, guys, it was heavy. It was absolute. It was action from the start, go from the get-go, man. From the opening segment, guys, we saw the Young Bucks just pure dominate from the get-go. But again, a solid match from both sides. I really thought Chris Jericho and MJF would secure the pin here, but again, the Young Bucks retain. I really thought Chris Jericho and MJF would win on the night here, guys, to set up some kind of feud between Santana and Ortiz, but again, we might probably see that in the near future. Who knows, guys? But again, we had the Casino Tag Team Royale after this one, man. In one of the early highlights of the match, QT Marshall got into an argument with Dustin Rhodes when Rhodes took issue with Marshall eliminating the Gun Club before deciding to leap over the top rope to eliminate himself. Jack Evans was not in the match, helped eliminate Stu Grayson by popping up from under the ring, seemingly having been paid off by Matt Hardy. Team cycled in and out, getting in big moments with Bear Country as one of the most notable, impressive showings from a fairly fresh team. The last 5 men in the ring were Pac, Ray Phoenix, Frankie Kazarian, John Silver, and Jungle Boy. That left Pac and Phoenix as the only complete team down the stretch. Phoenix and Pac worked together to eliminate Kazarian and Silver, leaving Jungle Boy at the huge disadvantage. Jungle Boy managed to duck out of the way of Pac and send him spilling over the top rope, leaving just 2 men in the match. After a fun final stretch between Phoenix and Jungle Boy, it was Phoenix who managed to score the elimination, securing Death Triangle a future tag title shot. A match like this is bound to have sloppy stretches, but was pretty standard Rumble action, with entrants coming in, getting shine, and moving on to the next entrant. The final stretch was fantastic and helped elevate the match overall. Death Triangle, Pac and Ray Phoenix won the Casino Tag Team Royale, and I'll give this Contenders Corner match rating a 3.8 out of 5. And then we have the AEW's Women's Championship, Ikaru Shida versus Ryo Mizunami. Shida and Mizunami exchanged strikes early in the match before the action spilled out to the floor. Mizunami managed to take over after catching Shida trying to vault off a chair into flying knee. The action picked up in a big way from there, with Shida hitting some big power moves and putting Mizunami in big danger. The match remained a hard-hitting battle, with Shida hitting huge running knees and Mizunami answering with heavy lariats before an extended section of trading elbow strikes. The action did not let up, with both women obliterating each other with huge moves, and the recipient coming right back with a big answer. Shida hit several Tamashi running knees strikes before Mizunami continued to kick out until Shida finally managed to put away the challenger with a jumping spin kick to the face. After the match, Nyla Rose, Britt Baker and Maki Itoh ran in to attack Shida until Thunder Rosa came to the ring to run them off. This was a very good match with some minor issues with the match pacing in the middle stretch, but Mizunami was the right opponent for Shida on this night. Ikaru Shida retains, as I predicted, guys, and it was Ryu Mizunami who was defeated. Again, guys, I'm going to give this a Contenders Corner 3.6 out of 5. It was a solid match again, guys. And there was a lot of near falls from both here, guys. There was action from the get-go as well. And then we have Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Before the match, Miro and Sabian attacked Cassidy and Taylor backstage. Miro dragged Taylor to the ring, but a compromised and bloodied Taylor told the ref to ring the bell, despite Cassidy not being with him. Cassidy eventually made his way to the ring, hitting Miro with an orange punch and trying to take the fight to Sabian. Taylor almost had the match won after a pole driver, but Miro finally recovered from the orange punch to make the save. Cassidy again hit Miro with an orange punch, but Penelope Ford caused a distraction and Miro chose to shove Cassidy into her to get the upper hand. Miro took out Taylor before locking him in game over to get the submission victory. This was short, a filler match. It was expected to be. The pre-match stuff felt a little unnecessary in getting where things ultimately went, but it served its purpose and well enough. And Miro came out looking strong, which is what he needed. It was Miro and Kip Sabian who defeated Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor via submission. And I give this a 3.5 out of 5. And it was a filler match, but it was a good entertaining match, guys. And then we have the big money match, Hangman Adam Page versus Matt Hardy. Page exploded early, looking for a buckshot lariat, but Hardy rolled out of the ring to avoid the shot. Hardy then focused his attention on Page's hand and arm to try and neutralise the shot going forward. Page continued to try throw right hands despite the damage, fighting on instinct. Hardy tried to steal a count-out victory, but hitting a twist of fate outside the ring, but Page was able to barely beat the referee's count. Page hit a lot of his standing big moves, including the moonsault from the top rope to the floor and the top rope crossbody when the action returned to the ring, but Hardy kept firing back. Page appeared to have the match won with Deadeye, but Private Party ran to the ring, distracting the referee before jumping in the ring. Page took out both men, but the buckshot lariat was countered into a side effect and twist of fate for a 2 count. Dark Order ran to the ring to take out Private Party and tossed Page onto the ring apron, where he flipped over to hit the buckshot for the 3 count. This went probably 5 minutes too long, but Hardy performed a bit beyond expectations, and Page can always deliver in the ring. Hopefully the program between Page and Hardy can now be put to bed. Hangman Adam Page defeated Matt Hardy via pinfall to win Hardy's first quarter earnings. And I'll give this a 3.8 out of 5, guys. And then we have the face of the Revolution ladder match, Cody Rhodes versus Penta El Zero Miedo versus Scorpio Sky versus Lance Archer versus Max Caster versus Ethan Page. Winner earns TNT title opportunity. Again, guys, Page was revealed as the mystery opponent, a former year-plus tag champion in Impact and standout performer for Evolve, where he had a wild feud with Darby Allin. As expected, the match was full of wild moments, including Penta hitting Rhodes with a destroyer on a ladder suspended between the ring apron and the ringside barricade. That move led to Rhodes being escorted to the entrance to be checked by trainers. In another highlight bump, Archer threw Sky through another ladder on the outside of the ring as bodies continued to crash in and around the ring. The injured Rhodes made his way back to the ring, using his belt as a weapon before hitting Page with crossroads. Rhodes was hit with a suplex off the apron by Archer and then an elbow off the ladder by Caster. Jake Roberts got in the ring and hit Page with a clothesline after Page took out Archer, but Penta then attacked Roberts to remove him from the equation. Sky ultimately won the match, taking out Rhodes, who had taken several big bumps on his injured shoulder through the match, shoving Rhodes off the ladder and grabbing the brass ring for the win. The match had plenty of big action, but didn't really separate itself from the pack of very good ladder matches that has grown increasingly deep over the past few decades. Scorpio Sky won by grabbing the brass ring. I'll give this a Contenders Corner match rating here, 3.8 out of 5. And then we have the Christian Cage revealed as the mystery person, another mystery person who would become the All Elite guys, and he's come out to sign for AEW. The former WWE star, who only recently was cleared to return to the ring and did so at the Royal Rumble, made his way to the centre of the AEW ring. Once in the ring, he signed his contract and revealed a shirt that said "Outwork Everyone." Again, guys, it's a massive signing for AEW. A big signing. Interesting as well, guys. Others have said this is a boring signing, not as big, but again, guys, everyone predicted. You know what, guys? I'm going to reveal this in a minute. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. You know what? Because a lot of WWE fans really thought Christian was returning to WWE. But again, guys, I'm going to produce my thoughts in a minute. I'm going to continue with the results here, and then I'm going to lay down my ruling for Cage and Ethan Page. Then we have Sting and Darby Allin versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a street fight, guys. This was a cinematic match with elaborate entrances before the competitors arrived at an empty warehouse. Allin and Sting was accompanied by a group of men in Sting masks who surrounded the ring. Sting paired off with Starks in the ring while Allin and Cage battled around the building, with Cage brutally throwing Allin into walls and through doors. The setup of the match allowed Sting to look good without having to do much, while Cage was his usual powerhouse self. Starks played the slightly cowardly heel, and Allin took his usual variety of insane bumps. Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook ran in as Allin appeared to have the match won after taking out Starks. With the huge numbers advantage, Team Taz threw Allin through a window propped against a wall as Team Taz stalked Sting. Allin recovered and threw a bat to the Icon, allowing him to knock Cage onto a wooden platform. Allin then dove from a window, driving Cage through the platform with a huge elbow. This left Sting alone in the ring with Starks, where the two went back and forth until Sting hit the Scorpion Death Drop for the win. Your mileage may vary on cinematic matches, but this allowed everyone involved to showcase their best qualities while also hiding the obvious limitations of Sting at 61 years old. Sting and Darby Allin defeated Brian Cage and Ricky Starks via pinfall. And I'm going to give this, guys, a Contenders Corner match rating, a 4.2 out of 5. It was a fantastic cinematic match. It hid the limitations of Sting at his age. They did it really well, guys. And everyone thought, this is bad for AEW, allowing an old man to wrestle at his age. But again, guys, it was a fantastic match. This is similar to what WWE did with The Undertaker. The cinematic match hid the limitations of his age through the match, guys, allowing him to perform well against AJ Styles in that cinematic match. But again, guys, the AEW did it well here. Fantastic cinematic match. There was a lot of action, guys, and it was done really, really well. And then we have the AEW World Championship Exploding Barbed Wire Death Match. Again, guys, this was on paper, guys. This was on paper. It's an over-the-top match on paper. For them to do what ECW did back in the days, again, maybe they just want to, boost things up. Get a bit creative here, guys. But again, the barbed wire should be left where it is. It's over the top. It's extreme. And again, on paper, guys, it was over. It's over the top. It's an over the top match. But the opening moment saw both men trying to force the other's face into barbed wire. From there, the psychology of the match was established, as is the case in such matches, as revolving around the continued teasing of one mistake leading to a potential catastrophe. Moxley would be the first man to taste the barbed wire and explosions after Omega threw powder in his eyes and whipped him into the ropes. Moxley was busted open early but continued to fight back, even as he was thrown into barbed wire. Covered board propped in the corner, Omega tried to follow up with a figure four, but Moxley kicked him off, sending Omega face first into the barbed wire ropes for an explosion. Moxley then drop kicked Omega back into the ropes for a second explosion. Omega was sent through a second barbed wire board in the corner after a Moxley exploder, after which Moxley hit a side slam onto a barbed wire covered chair. Omega tackled Moxley into the ropes, but it was Omega who took the worst of it, with his face ending right near the resulting explosion. Moxley hit a paradigm shift off the ring apron onto the exploding barbed wire boards on the floor, driving Omega head first. Omega hit the one-winged angel shortly after. They went back to the ring, but Moxley broke the pin by kicking the ropes to cause an explosion and blinding Omega. Before Moxley could capitalise, the Good Brothers ran into the ring to attack, handing Omega a barbed wire wrapped bat that was also rigged to explode when he hit Moxley. Omega drove Moxley through a chair that had been set up in the middle of the ring with one ring angel to score the victory. The beatdown continued after the match before the trio handcuffed Moxley's hand behind his back and continuing the assault until leaving Moxley in the ring as the 30-minute timer counted to 0. Eddie Kingston ran to the ring and covered Moxley as the explosions went off. Unfortunately, the explosions were little more than some mild flashes and fireworks, as it appeared the Pro did not go off as planned. These kind of matches are unique and hard to compare to a standard wrestling match, but the brutality, bloodshed and everything you could expect was on display. Moxley and Omega are capable of even more than this, but this match's style does come with some limitations. Unfortunately, the final explosion did not deliver, and it left Kingston's sacrifice and the very serious ending to feel comedic at best. The ending completely tainted everything that came before, ending what had been a very enjoyable show on a terrible note. Kenny Omega defeated Jon Moxley via pinfall to retain the title. Again, guys, I was planning on giving this a 4, but it's just going to drop down to a 3.8 best. No, guys, I was going to give this a 3.4. No, a 4.4. The match was getting really intense, guys. It was getting great. And then that comedian feel of an ending just downed it out, guys. It just downed the vibe. And for that, guys, I'm going to give it a 3.8 out of 5. It was a good match. It was a good match apart from the ending, guys. The ending just felt more comedic at best. But apart from that, the show itself was fantastic, guys. It was just the ending to that match that downed the show. But again, guys, these were the mystery people. The All Ego Ethan Page. And he was the mystery. He was the mystery opponent in the face of the Revolution ladder match against Cody Rhodes, Pentel El Zero Mido, Scorpio Sky, and Lance Archer and Max Caster. And it was FN Page who came out as the mystery opponent in that match. He is a former Impact Tag Team Champion. And he's a standout performer at Evolve as well, guys. And had a wild feud with Darby Allin there. We also saw Christian Cage come out to sign his contract at AEW. And again, guys, everyone thought that Christian was going to return to WWE and do something with Edge. You know, come back as a tag team, bring the tag team back to WWE. But again, they were shocked to see, guys, that Christian is all elite. And again, it is fantastic. Fantastic to see, guys. A lot of people speculated it was going to be Kurt Angle. Some even predicted it was going to be The Rock or Brock Lesnar. But again, guys, it's going to take something as big as Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, a big name like that, guys, for WWE to realise, you know, all elite mean business. And again, guys, I actually praise All Elite, for bringing Christian into the picture at AEW. Yeah, he's not a big draw, but he's one of my favourites in the WWF days, guys. He's in there in one of my favourites. He's a good wrestler. He deserved a lot more in WWE, but he wasn't given the push. It was more Edge. But again, guys, I hope that in AEW he gets the chance that he deserved in WWF, that he was never given, guys. And I hope that he gets this shot in AEW. He deserves it, guys. He deserves the comeback. And I wish him all the best at AEW. And I am going to enjoy watching him in the months to come, guys. But again, let me know your thoughts on Ethan Page, the karate man at Impact. What are your thoughts on Ethan Page? What are your thoughts on Christian? Them two draws, guys, becoming all elite. Again, guys, Ethan Page has been a free agent for several months and was last seen facing his alter ego Karate Man in a cinematic match at Impact's Hard to Kill pay-per-view in January. Page is best known for One Half of the North with Josh Alexander. The pair set the record for longest reign as Impact World Tag Team Champions at 380 days, shortly before Page left the company. And then we move on to Christian here. He's a former WWE World Champion. Christian officially signed with All Elite under the new name Christian Cage in an announcement made at the Revolution pay-per-view. Cage originally went under the longer name in his early career, but shortened it when he joined the World Wrestling Federation in the 90s. It looks like the 47-year-old is going back to his roots in the newest chapter of his early 3-decade-long career. Captain Charisma also appeared in January's Royal Rumble, where his former long time tag team partner Edge won the event. Cage, who hasn't wrestled since 2014, stepped away from wrestling because of injuries and especially over concussion concerns. When Cage was a guest on Booker T's Hall of Fame show in 2020, he said that he didn't see himself returning to the ring and his history of concussions effectively had ended his career. I didn't see it happening, he said. I'm medically disqualified. I'm not sure how or what can get me cleared. Despite the health concerns, Captain Charisma's career isn't over just yet, and AEW couldn't be happier. AEW President Tony Khan didn't shy away from hyping up the surprise announcement on the company's AEW Unrestricted podcast. Khan said a major star in the world wrestling, a huge star, is going to come and sign a multi-year contract with AEW while speaking on the Sunday event. Earlier that night, before the announcement, Ethan Page made his AEW debut as the surprise final entrant in a 6-man ladder match where the winner would be granted a shot at the TNT Championship at a later date. Scorpio Sky came away with a win after defeating Page, Cody Rhodes, Penta El Zero Miedo, Lance Archer and Max Caster. And again, guys, that is all for today. A big pay-per-view, guys, and I'm going to give this a show rating, guys. A 3.8, a 3.9 out of 5, guys. It was going to be a big one, but it was just that ending from the barbed wire exploding match that brought it down for me. Again, guys, this is Review Geek 3000, and we are calling out. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.